Okay, everybody, I've got another video here about dosing and formulating what you're going to need for at least a year of plant medicine. Now, that is the thing when you make your own medicines. You can make as much as you need, or you can make it fresh daily if you have the ingredients to do so. But because I do live in a place where my plant medicine does not grow all year long, I need to formulate a way that I'll have enough for a year until I can start reaching my next harvest. So the last 2 years I've been dosing exclusively off of the dried plant material. I make me a cup of tea, or I sprinkle the dry leaves on something and ingest it that way. So this year is my first year of making the decoction and the concentrate. So I want to show you something about these dropper bottles. Okay, this is a good way for me to get them to other people. But when you go to dose and you squeeze the top, you're only getting a little, about a third of the medicine in the dropper. So what I've been doing is I get these syringes at TSC. Now you can get just dosing syringes anywhere. Excuse me, I've got some congestion this morning. I've already started my mullein tea. And so what I do instead of using the dropper, I use one of these dosing syringes. And this is a 3 milliliter dosing syringe. At the most, I'll take 3 of those in a day. That's the most. Most often, I just take one of those before I go to bed, and that's sufficient for me. Now, if you're taking liquid medicines, I highly advise you to get one of these little 1 ounce measuring cups. These, I don't remember where I got it. I want to say it was Walgreens, but it could have been Walmart. But it has the measurements for teaspoons, tablespoons, ounces, and milliliters on it. So what you want to do is convert what you're using daily toward a year worth of usage. So me using 3 milliliters a day, 3 of the 3 milliliters a day at the most, that's going to be 9 milliliters. So let's go with 10 milliliters is what I need daily. Now, let's just say I had a day where I needed more than that. Let's just round it up to 15 milliliters, which is close to a half ounce. Because ounces is what I'm used to working my measurements out of. The principle is the same in figuring what you're going to use for a year. You're basically going to take your daily dose and multiply it times 365 days. Now, I need a half an ounce a day. So that is times the 365, and that comes up to 133, 143. It's close enough. So basically, what I'm going to need, because there's 128 ounces in a gallon, is I'm actually going to need about a little bit more than a gallon for a whole year. goodness, I hope my math is okay on this. And y'all know how I am about math. You're going to want to get your calculators out and do this for yourself. I've got plenty of time to just sit around and work it out for myself. So this is a half-gallon mason jar that you can get at Walmart or any place that sells these kind of jars. So I'm going to want 2 of these and probably a quart jar in addition for my dosing, and that is overestimating what my use is, because you never know what's going to happen, and you want to overestimate a little bit on how much supply you have at hand. Now, there's going to be days that I won't need anything at all. And so I wanted to show you this in a way that you can figure it for yourself. Now, all my math on that right there was probably all screwed up. I'm just going to go ahead and admit that. But the point is to take what you need daily, multiply it times the 365, and come up with that amount for you to keep on hand for a year. Now, this is for those of you who go out and forage it and prepare it for yourself. You can always buy this stuff. I've been finding more and more things like this on Etsy. I will be trying to supply as much as I can to anyone who needs it from me. But Etsy has people who have large farms that are farming these herbal medicines or foraging off of acres and acres and acres and acres of land so that they can be a business enterprise. I'm just a medicine woman down here in Lincoln County, Tennessee, just trying to help some folks out when I can. And so that's what I want y'all to look at, what you can do to make sure you have the medicine on hand that you need for a year. Now, that is why I top my jars with the vodka. Now, that's probably just a tenth of the total fluid mix, probably just a tenth of what I put in there for alcohol for preservation only. Now, if you did tinctures, the one thing that I have found is when you pack one of these jars with plant material and you pour alcohol the whole way through to let it sit to be a tincture, you yield about half of the jar of usable liquid. Now, what you want to do with that, because that's pure alcohol on the part that is left after you remove the plant material, you can add water to the rest of that. First of all, it makes it more palatable. And then the other thing is that gives you more yield. Now, you have to work out for yourself about the concentration levels of the chemicals and what is affecting you in a certain way and the results you're getting personally. That's just something you have to do for you. But that is something that I've seen because my brother's preferred method is tincturing, and he can pack a whole jar full of plant material and fill it up with vodka or PGA or a mix of both. And then when I get ready to strain it out and I'm squeezing the plant material out, I have a press that I've been pressing the plant material as much as I can to get every drop. It only yields a half to just barely over a half of usable liquid. So there's you a couple of things to get you ready to start preparing, because we're here in July where I am, I've got several more months of harvesting that I can do. Even on the Lactuca, if y'all look back at my videos, I was still harvesting in October, and that was because of how I had cultivated my plants. I had topped them and then allowed them to sprout out again, and that kept the leaves going and kept the plant alive and kept the plant producing. And so that's something again that I want to continually inform you of, is leave those roots in the ground, let your plant live, and you can yield harvest after harvest after harvest off of these plants. So until my next video, y'all have a good day and goodbye.